Hi everyone, this is Tanya over at Cuteness Overload, and I'm just checking in to show my new little baby. Uh, she was advertised as a 13-inch Behringer, and she's more like a 12-inch Behringer actually, unless my measurements are off. And I had ordered some. She's really cute. She's considered to be, I guess, a Hispanic or Latina baby, but she's still brown. And I think I named her. I just started calling her Conchita. Conchita. I don't know where I get these ethnic names from, but I guess I couldn't name my my real babies those crazy names. They have a lot of crazy nicknames, but I can name the dolls anything I can. But she is really, really tiny, really tiny. And I had ordered some preemie clothes off of eBay for her, and these are too big. I'm gonna have to return them. Look, this has, it's pink with little monkeys, and then this one is hot pink with dragons, and it's so cute. But I tried them on her, and even if I wash them a lot, like in hot water or whatever, they're just still too big for her. I mean, I put them on her, but if you look, it's just too much of an overlap. They're just too big. So I contacted the seller on eBay, and these still have the tags attached. Thank goodness I didn't take the tags off and wash them. These are Carter's preemies. Now these would fit Philip because Philip is about 15 inches long, and the preemie clothes fit him just fine. They fit him just fine, but Philip is a boy. He can't wear girls' clothes. I'm not like the celebrities in Hollywood, where I let my sons wear girl clothes and I let my girls shave their head off for no reason at all. So Philip is not going to be wearing these girl clothes. But I contacted the seller and she agreed to, well, she just said, do you want to exchange? So she has a set of two preemie sleepers, light preemie sleepers for boys that I'm going to exchange these for. I'm going to send these back, and then I guess she's going to send the boy set that Philip will be able to sit. For little Conchita, I'm going to have to literally get doll clothes for her. I'm going to have to literally get 13-inch doll clothes for her. She won't be able to wear real baby clothes at all. But she is just so, so cute. My husband immediately liked her. And like I said, I'm really loving these Behringers. I never thought I would like Behringer dolls. Again, I'm not in any position right now, excuse me, to try my hand at reborning either of these, either her, Conchita, or Philip. But I like them as is. I mean, of course, I always like real hair dolls, and of course, with the Behringers, they have the like the molded hair or whatever it would be called. But some reborns don't have hair. Some reborns have painted hair. But maybe one day I might think about rooting some hair on her and giving some filling to her. But again, she's an all vinyl too. Actually, she seems to be more plastic. Philip is softer than her. She seems to be plastic. But again, I have a thing about real stomachs and dolls. I have to have stomachs. I just don't like I don't care for the cloth body. I like full limbs and stomachs. So one day maybe I can buy a full vinyl reborn. It doesn't even have to be silicone. It just needs to be full vinyl. And it didn't work out for that reborn Behringer that I was going to get. I don't know, for some reason the seller refused to send pictures, the pictures that I requested, because I wanted to see pictures of the doll's hair fully. How I wanted her to pull the doll's hair up, because I wanted to see if she was like Amina, who is the hair is on around the top, but then when you pull it up, it's bald. There's no hair, like, there's no spots of hair all around. It's not an even hairline. It doesn't even have to be an even hairline, because Soraya doesn't have an even hairline. That's not realistic for a little baby, but still, I don't like when hair is just on the top of the head and then there's no hair around here. I want to have a baby doll that I can comb the hair in different styles and pull it up. So the seller, after about 3 requests. The first request, she said she was going to do it after she got off of work, but then she never did it. And then I contacted her twice again, and she just never responded. And last time I looked, which was earlier today, that doll is still on. Maybe she was hoping for a better offer than what I made, but some money is better than no money. And it's not that I wouldn't have bought her if she were bald underneath, but I just wanted to know what I was getting. And I don't know what happened. Maybe she had an emergency or something. For those of you who are not on my regular channel, I'll say my regular channel because that's the channel I've had for many years. And then I started making videos about almost 4 years ago. But I was in yet another car accident, unfortunately. This is unreal. And there may be an issue. I may have to pay for it again, even though it wasn't my fault. Again, a man slammed into me on my way to work. And this time I was close to my job, which meant that I work in a major metropolitan city. I work in the city of Cleveland, but I live about 50 miles away, or more than 50 miles away, but I work in Cleveland. And so the police in Cleveland and the response time, when you call 911, when you call AAA, everything, it was just a nightmare. I waited for 3 hours before I finally got everything cleared. And then the police wound up going to the driver that hit me, but they claimed they couldn't find meat on the side of on the left shoulder. And I'm like, if you see a car with front end damage, clearly he hit something. There has to be a car somewhere, a vehicle somewhere that's going to have a smashed up rear. So that's just a big mess. I'm just really trying to be calm. Like my husband said, just be glad. He said, don't worry. You can get another car. You can get your car repaired. Even if you have to pay for it again, but can't get another use. So he's just really trying to calm me down. Before the accident, I was not. And this accident happened yesterday on my way to work. It was it was only about 7 o'clock, a little after 7 o'clock in the morning. I wound up, the 911 call went through, my first call, because I had to call them 3 times before they finally came. But my first call was at 7:14 a.m. So this was real early. This was kind of early for this kind of thing to be happening on the road. And it was not, it was wet. Yeah, it was wet. It had snowed, but the snow melted overnight. And so it wasn't really like icy or slippery, but the guy was just not paying attention. And I did get his name. What happened was somehow he got away. He vanished. By the time I could get off, by the time I could, because this was like the freeway. This was going around. If you know anything about Cleveland, I-90, this was Dead Man's Curve. So this was right approaching Dead Man's Curve. So when he hit me, I was not in a position to get out the car and walk over on the freeway. I would have probably gotten decapitated or something the way the cars were flying. And also, I wasn't in a position to stay in the middle of the road. So I drove a little ways up and went on the left shoulder. But there was traffic and I couldn't see him. But as soon as the traffic died down a couple of hours later, I did see him on the side. Like I said, the whole time, well, not the whole time, but shortly thereafter, the cops came and, took his report. But by the time the traffic cleared up about a couple of hours later, I saw a tow truck going to his car. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on? Is he going to leave without someone coming to me? I didn't see the cops anymore, and I saw a tow truck. And one thing I did skip is that a good State Farm Good Neighbor truck did come over and get me from the left side of the road to the right side of the road, because he said I'm in more danger being on the left side. And that's why I went to the left shoulder instead of staying in the middle of the road, because I was in the middle lane when he hit me. I knew I had to get over, because the way those cars were flying, 12 more cars would have probably hit me, and I wouldn't be talking to you today. So I knew I had to get off the road or get, to the side. But anyway, he pushed me over to the side. So by that time, I was really able to see the car that struck me. And so as soon as I saw that tow truck, I climbed over out of my car on the passenger side. I didn't have to do that because there's no damage in the front of my car. He hit the back and the side, the driver's side, the side back panel, the side clip and the back, and my trunk is messed up. But my front is, fine. But anyway, I climbed over to the passenger side. I walked on the grass on the right shoulder, and then I literally walked up to his car, and I got his plate. And then the tow truck driver, he had called the tow truck driver because the way that it works, I guess, in Cleveland is that, or maybe anywhere, but definitely in Cleveland, is that if you don't arrange your own tow, then the city tows you, and then it goes to an impound lot, and it's a big mess. But anyway, I just so happened to go up to the car. I got the information off the vehicle, and it wasn't a situation where it was a pile up where someone struck him and he struck me. His car was perfect in the back. Perfect. He just wasn't paying attention. He was probably, my husband said he may have been texting or something, or who knows what happened, but he just coming too fast and he couldn't stop. And he hit me because what happened was, as usual, every day when you approach the curve, traffic slows. And so I was slowing. I broke. I applied my brake, but I don't know if he applied it too late and he just slammed into me. He literally slammed into me. But anyway, I just so happened to, the tow truck driver gave me his name. So, and he gave me his insurance company. But whenever I think I have information, because I didn't have the policy number, the insurance company claims they could not find him, that he's probably or possibly under on insurance with his spouse or his parent or something. So I just said I do not want to have to pay for another accident that wasn't my fault, that I didn't cause. But I mean, I may have to bite the bullet. My husband said that's what full coverage is for, and underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage is for. But this time, I'm going to get an attorney if I have problems. I did contact an attorney. I haven't heard from him. I know this is the holiday season, so maybe the attorney is on holiday leave or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just call the office because I did send an electronic request. But, you learn as you go through things. So I am not. I refuse to let this guy get off like I let the last guy get off. Basically, where he doesn't have to do anything but pay my $250 deductible. That's what the court ordered him to do, is restitution. And then I didn't get any kind of pain and suffering. I had to fight with my own insurance company because they wound up having to pay. And I don't want to be fighting with my insurance company. If I have to fight with my insurance company and go through all that, then I will have to get some compensation, some pain and suffering. So, like I said, this time I'm going to contact an attorney. I'm not going to try to duke it out by myself. I don't even have it. I know I have the mental strength to do it, but I'm not going to do that to myself. But anyway, I wanted to answer Linda's tag, Linda, my sweet cupcakes tag, about when you're at home and you don't have to go anywhere. Do you put your clothes on like her husband and get dressed for the day, or do you stay in your jammies, or nightgown or whatever? And it depends. If I'm sick, like I am today, because like I mentioned, I was already sick. My husband got me sick because people on his job were sick, and he got me sick. And we've been like passing it back and forth like for several days. But I guess when the accident came and I was out there in the elements, stuck in my car for 3 hours, it wasn't necessarily stuck in my car because my car was warm inside. I'm the type of person who I have to have my air on sometimes, even in the winter time. Or not even necessarily in the winter, the freezing cold, but like when anytime it's like above 50, I may have to turn a little cool air on because I get real hot. So as long as I was in my car, I was okay. But I think what did me in was having to walk to the vehicle of the guy that struck me. That's probably what did me in. So I've been feeling bad today. So I have had my gown on all day, but at the last minute, I did go on and take a shower, but I put my gown back on because it's so late in the day. But ordinarily, when I'm just home and I feel okay, I'll put house clothes on. I mean, that's the way I was raised by my grandmother. You have house clothes, you have street clothes. You don't want to mess your nice going out clothes with around the house, but you don't want to. She never allowed me as a child to lay around with my robe, like to be in the living room and out in the kitchen and out and about in the house in my nightgown or my pajamas. She just always, felt that it wasn't proper to be like walking around men or, just walking around anyone, period, just in your pajamas or nightgown. And if I had to, she would always make me wear a robe, no matter how hot it was in the house. And back then, we didn't have air conditioning or anything. You just had fans. I mean, if it was hot, it was hot. But so what I do is I have a drawer full of not just a drawer, but a drawer full, and then some clothes hanging up in my closet full of house clothes. Well, not full of, but some house clothes that I put on. So house dresses. And that was what she was good for, house dresses. So what I'll do is like put a house dress or some house clothes on when I'm not going out. Because I feel better that way anyway. Because if I get some unexpected visitor, like let's say maintenance comes for some reason or another, just unexpected, there no one called them, but let's just say they're supposed to give us notice. I guess maintenance is not a good example, but let's just say I am home and maintenance is supposed to come, or let's just say it's a door-to-door salesman or something. Anybody could be ringing the bell, and I don't want to have to answer the door with my gown or pajamas on or a robe on. I'm just a bum. I'd rather just have house clothes on. So, long story short, hopefully that answers your question, Linda. And this is like the longest video I've ever done on this channel, because whenever I get into explaining things, it always takes a long time. But isn't Conchita so, so, so cute? And then here are all the babies still in their little bed. I was gonna change them, but then I said they just look so cozy and comfortable with their same sleepers on. There's Amina, Philip, and Soraya. And of course, here is Conchita. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.